getting a driver's license in Japan. So, let's just drop it. So, I would like to talk a little bit about that, and for those of you who might be coming over here to work in Japan, or maybe want to drive in Japan, like while staying, I'm going to give you some advice and also just a little bit of information about it. Now, depending on where you live, you have to go to a driving center, and I'm actually going to talk a little bit more about if you already have a driver's license. So you need to make sure that you have your own driver's license and your passport, and you give them your documents, and you have to fill out an application. The application costs Nissan Yohyaku-en, which is like about 20. I don't know. We'll just cut off the zero. Say about $24. It's about $24. A little bit more depending on the exchange rate. So take your driver's license and your passport and fill out the application. Hand in your application, and you have to take a written test. Now, the written test is very, very simple. You schedule for the written test the same day, and it's usually around 11 or so, and you take it, and it's 10 questions, only 10 questions, and you only need to get 7 correct. So you're allowed to miss 3 questions out of 10. So, pretty simple. And it comes in 6 or 7 different languages. You have the Japanese, you have English, you have Korean, Chinese. Well, in this case it was Portuguese, because there's a lot of Portuguese that, or Brazilians that live in the area I live. Russian, and maybe it was just 6. I know there's at least those 6. And it also has a picture describing what the statement is saying, whether it's illegal or not. And that's all the questions are, is true or false. Are, like, not necessarily as simple as this, but something like, actually no, I do have an example. One of them is, are you allowed to pass a car within 30 meters or so of a crosswalk? The answer is no. So, things like that. Really, 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 really simple. And it takes, you have about 15 minutes to take the test, and after you finish, you have to wait around, and you get the results around like 1:30 or so. So it's like 2 hours after it, you get the results, and after you've passed, you schedule yourself the actual driving portion of the test. And the driving portion is a little bit different than how you'd have it in the States. Now, the driving portion is actually, there's an actual driving course that has its own stoplight, its own little train, railroad track kind of section, an S curve, and it also has like a T-turn kind of thing to simulate the different types of roads that you might be driving on in Japan. Now, the driving part, however, is a lot more difficult than, say, the written portion. Now, when I first took the driving portion, I thought I'd be okay, because I've been driving here since August, and I initially took the test back in the middle of March, and I was wrong. I actually failed the first time I took the test, and I failed miserably. Out of 100 points, I got less than 50, so I failed it pretty badly. And they're really, really, really picky about some of the things. For instance, you have to be a certain amount away from the curb, but you can't be too close, nor can you be too far. If you're too close, bikes can't get through, or if you're too far, you have the risk of getting hit by somebody else that's either trying to turn or is coming in the other lane, or coming in the opposite lane. And that was a big issue that I had, was I was too far initially. And also, this is what kind of got me, is that there are, at like turns and intersections, there are these little like square, or they might come in triangles if it's only like a 3-way, little like markers on the road. And what you're supposed to do, so we're going to say, we're going to flip it to where how to do this. Okay, so we're going to flip it to where, like, say you're driving in Japan. So you're driving this way and cars are going this way. So you're stopped at an intersection and you want to make a right turn. And so when you make a right turn, you have to turn slightly, hug the square that's on the road, go straight, and then turn again. You're not supposed to, kind of just turn it. They don't want you to do that, and so you actually lose points for doing something like that. Now, like, that really sucked. So when you fail the test, you have to pay an additional roughly $35, $35, so like something, go Hyakuin, to take it again. And they also suggest that you do the practice test. I did take the practice test because there's a couple other people with me, and we pooled money together just to make it cheaper. And the practice test cost about $105, so Ichiman go Hyakuin. So it's highly suggested that you take the practice test so you know what the hell they're like talking about, or like what, because at least where I took the test, they were very strict. So I highly suggest you take the practice test. And you only need 70 points to pass, but you lose 5 points for each like minor mistake, and a lot more, like 10 or 15 points for any like really big mistakes. Second time I took the test, I passed. I got a 70 out of 100. So, like, through skin of my teeth, I passed. And needless to say, I don't have to worry anymore because I have this. So unless I want to get because this is only for automatic cars. So unless I wanted to get something for, like a manual, which I'd really like, or something of the sort, I'm just going to stick with this for right now. That's really about it. It's really, if you fail it, you have to reschedule it that same day, and you have to pay an additional $35. Something, go Hyakuin. That's really about it for taking it. If you have a driver's license beforehand, if you don't, then you have to go through a process. I think it's about 2 weeks or so of driving classes, and those are a lot more. They're a lot more strict there. For the test, you have to get a 90 out of 100 to pass. So, yeah. Needless to say, if you already have a license, definitely makes this getting a lot easier. And if you fail the first time, don't be too shocked about it. It happens. It happens to almost everybody. So that's really about it. I know, kind of quick, kind of brief, but that's really about it. It's not that difficult, you just apply and you just take the test if you have, your own license. So that's really about it. Let's see. I should have another video up soon this week. I'm not too busy. I've been kind of busy lately, so now that I have my license and things have kind of calmed down, I can get back to, adding videos in a bit faster pace, I guess, or instead of just once a week. So, I hope you enjoy this little kind of informative thing about getting driver's license in Japan, and hopefully next time I will have something, I don't know, hopefully something that you will enjoy, and hopefully something that you can give me comments about. So, until then, I will see you then.